Hello and welcome to a free tutorial by Nicola Dean from the Flock. In this tutorial I am going to be showing you how to make a beautiful seal sculpture. I am happy for you to make items from this tutorial for personal use or to sell. All I ask is, if you share what you have made, that you add a note to say that you made it from a free tutorial from the Flock and add a link to the Flock's Facebook group. Please also be aware that the tutorial and its content is protected by copyright and must not be copied or shared without prior permission. Thank you. Let's get started. To make your own seal, you will need your needle felting surface, your needle felting needles. You will need a shaping needle. I like to use a 38 gauge triangular needle for this, and a finishing needle. I like to use a 42 gauge needle for this. It is also helpful to have a multi-needle tool if you have one, and additional shaping and finishing needles to put in it. If you don't have a multi-needle tool, don't worry, you can just use one needle for all the steps. It will just take a little longer. You will also need your finger protectors if you want to use them. I will not be using finger protectors in this tutorial so that you can clearly see what I am doing, but I advise that you wear yours. You will also need some core wool. I will be using this loose carded core wool. Then you will need some coloured fibres in light grey, a darker grey and black. I am using carded slivers. If you are using coloured fibre that has been processed as a top, it is best to hand card or break up and mess up the fibres before use. I will link some videos in the description containing more information on how to do this. And finally, I have created a printable template to assist you with this tutorial so that you can achieve the correct shapes and size. For best results, print this at a scale of 100%. I will add a link to this template in the description. The first part of the seal we are going to make is the body to match the bird's eye view and side view on the diagram. Referring to these diagrams often will ensure you are achieving the correct shapes. To make the body, pull off a section of core wool and roll it into a log shape. The length of this needs to be just under 15 centimetres, which is about the distance from the edge of the body to the end of the tail marked here on the diagram. Stab all along the log shape until it is holding its shape. Keep turning as you stab. Once it is softly felted and holding its shape, the next thing you need to do is stab both fluffy ends inwards to make them rounded. As you round the ends, you are also starting to make the log shape the length of the bird's eye view diagram. Once the length matches the diagram, it is then time to start shaping the tapered tail end of the body. As you shape this, keep checking it against the diagram. The tail end of the body should end up medium firm but not fully felted. Once the tail end of the body matches the diagram, you can then continue to stab along the rest of the log shape to felt it a bit further so that it is a medium firmness, as we will then be wrapping more fibre around this to build up the body shape. As you stab, keep checking the length of the piece still matches the diagram. When you have finished, your piece should match the length of the body on both sections of the diagram, and the tail end should match the tapered shape. Next, we are going to build up the shape of the body to match the shapes on the diagram. To do this, take small sections of core wool at a time and wrap these around the log shape, stabbing them in place and shaping them as you go. As you add fibre and shape it, keep checking the shape of the piece against the diagram so you know where to add more fibre. As your piece starts to resemble the shapes on the diagram, you will need to stab what will become the base or the tummy of the seal so that it is flat. Keep checking the shape against the diagram, then add fibre to keep shaping it until the body matches the shapes on the diagram. When you have finished, the body shape should be a close match to the diagram and should be medium firm but not quite fully felted. The next step is to make the head of the seal. The easiest way to do this is by first making an egg shape that is the length from the tip of the nose to the back of the head and the width of the nose. To do this, pull off a small section of core wool and wrap this tightly around your little finger. Then remove this from your finger and stab the open ends in towards the centre. Next, stab all over to shape the piece into an egg shape to match the length from the tip of the nose to the back of the head. The narrower end of the egg shape should be the same shape and size as the nose. Keep checking the shape against the diagram . Once your piece matches the diagram, it is then time to start building up the shape of the head. To do this, we are going to wrap the fatter end of your egg shape with more fibre, stabbing it in place as you go. Keep checking the shape against the diagram, adding more fibre where required. When you have finished, the head should be a close match to the diagram and it should be medium firm but not quite fully felted. Now you have completed the body and head, it is time to make the neck so that we can join them together. To do this, take a small piece of fibre and wrap this tightly to form a very short log shape. It can help to stab this a little bit partway through rolling it to stop it unravelling. Once you have your tiny log shape, stab along the central section to felt it and stop it unravelling, leaving both ends fluffy and unfelted. Then tease open the fluffy ends of the log shape and stab the centre of the ends a little, leaving it fluffy and unfelted around the edges. The neck piece should now look like this. Next, we are going to attach the neck to the head. To do this, position the neck on the bottom side of the head between the back of the head and the start of the nose. Then, stab around the edges of the neck, pushing the needle into the head, using the fluffy edges of the neck to secure it in place. Now we will attach the other end of the neck to the top of the body. Position it so that the head and nose is pointing to the side and the side of the head is roughly level with the fatter end of the body. As with attaching the head, stab around the edges of the neck into the body using the fluffy edges to secure it in place. As you can see, this all looks a little odd at the moment, so it's time to build up the thickness of the neck and blend all of the shapes together. To do this, take small pieces of fibre at a time and wrap these around the neck and smooth them onto the body, building up the shapes to match the diagram. When you have finished building up the neck and shaping it, the neck should feel medium firm but not quite fully felted. Your seal so far should now look like this. It is now time to add some top colour to the seal. For this, first you will need your light grey fibre. To cover the seal, pull off small pieces at a time and lay these over the surface of the seal and stab them in place. If you are using fibre that has been processed as a top, you will need to card this using hand carders or break the fibre into smaller pieces and mess them up in your fingers before you start adding it as top colour. I will link some videos with more information on how to do this in the description. Keep adding the grey in small pieces at a time until the entire surface of the seal is covered. Once you have finished adding the light grey top colour, your seal should look like this. Next, to give the seal a more realistic finish, we are going to add some darker grey areas to its back, its head and around the sides and its neck. To do this, pull off small pieces of dark grey fibre and lay this over the back of the seal. Stab it in place, blending it down the sides of the body. Continue adding the dark grey down to its tail. As you move down the side of the seal's body, use thinner bits of dark grey fibre so it gives the appearance of it gradually blending into the light grey. You will then want to add some thin dark grey fibre around the neck and slightly onto the chest of the seal. Continue adding dark grey fibre around the back of the neck and down that side of the body. Then, for the seal's face, take a small wisp of dark grey fibre and twist this in your fingers. We are then going to add this to the centre of the forehead between where the eyes will go. Fold the twist of fibre in half and stab the fold into the centre of the forehead just above where the muzzle starts. Then guide the remaining fibre up the forehead towards the back of the head, stabbing it in place as you go. Next, cover the top, back and sides of the head with the dark grey fibre, gradually blending it into the light grey as you come towards the face. And finally, add some dark grey down the side of the neck and slightly onto the chest, blending it into the light grey. Your seal should now look like this. We are now going to make the front and rear flippers. First, you will need to trace or cut out the starter templates. We're going to begin by making the front flippers. For the front flippers, you will need your light grey fibre. Pull off a small amount of fibre and pull it and restack it a few times to make it even. Then split this in half. Lay one half evenly on your felting surface so that it is a little larger than the front flipper template. Using your shaping needles, stab over the surface with gentle, shallow stabs so not to push the fibre into the foam. Then carefully peel this off your felting surface, turn it over and repeat this on the other side. Peel this off the surface again and then lay it back down. Next, lay your template over the top. Using your shaping needle, stab an outline around the edge of the template. Then, following the outline, gradually fold in the edges, stabbing them down as you go. Leave the end that will attach to the body fluffy and unfelted. Once all the edges have been folded in, lift it off your foam and turn it over. Stab gently over the surface on the other side. Next, take the piece between the palms of your hands and rub it firmly on both sides to felt it further and keep it flat. Now lay the template over the fibre and stab the edges inwards to match the shape of the template. Keep stabbing and shaping. The finished flipper should be the same shape as the template, but a little smaller than it. Repeat the same steps with the other front flipper, aiming to create two the same shape and size. Then put the front flippers to one side whilst you create the rear flippers. To create the rear flippers, pull off a small amount of dark grey fibre and pull it and restack it a few times to make it even. Then split this in half. Lay one half on your felting surface so that it is a little larger than the rear flipper template. Using your shaping needles, stab over the surface with gentle, shallow stabs so not to push the fibre into the foam. Then carefully peel this off your felting surface, turn it over and repeat this on the other side. Peel this off the surface again and then lay it back down. Next, lay your template over the top. Using your shaping needle, stab an outline around the edge of the template. Then, following the outline, gradually fold in the edges, stabbing them down as you go. Leave the end that will attach to the body fluffy and unfelted. Once all the edges have been folded in, lift it off your foam and turn it over. Stab gently over the surface on the other side. Next, take the piece between the palms of your hands and rub it firmly on both sides to felt it further and keep it flat. Now lay the template over the fibre and stab the edges inwards to match the shape of the template. Keep stabbing and shaping. The finished flipper should be the same shape as the template, but a little smaller than it. Next, you need to add some indents to create the scalloped edge. To do this, push the needle into the edge horizontally to create the indent at various increments along the edge. Then turn it over and stab into the same indents on the other side. Finally, the rear flippers have a curve to them. To create this, hold the flipper against your felting surface so that it is curved, and then stab into the curve until it retains the shape. Repeat the same steps with the other rear flipper, aiming to create two the same shape and size. It is now time to add the flippers onto the seal's body. First, we will add the rear flippers. These are positioned either side of the tapered end of the body. To attach them, first tease open the fluffy end, then place it so that it is part way over the tapered end of the body. Then stab it in place, blending the fluffy ends along the body. Repeat this with the other rear flipper. Next, you need to attach the front flippers. First, lay them on your felting surface so that the gently curved edge points in the opposite direction to the rear flippers. This will ensure that you attach them to the seal's body the right way around. Then, taking the first front flipper, tease open the fluffy end and place it almost in line with the seal's nose, and so that half of the flipper is over the body. Stab this in place, blending the fluffy ends over the body. Then, bend the flipper back on itself and stab along the fold into the body. Repeat this with the other front flipper on the other side of the body, however this time ensure that it is in line with the first one you have already attached. As the skin of a seal is really smooth, take some time now to refine the surface. To do this, swap to your finishing needles and stab over the entire surface, smoothing it, tucking in any loose ends of fibre and firming it all up. Your seal should now look like this. Now it is time to add the facial features. For this, you will need your black fibre. First, make 2 small balls for the eyes by pulling off some tiny bits of fibre and rolling them between your fingers. Position these either side of the darker grey line and just above where the muzzle starts. Then, using your finishing needle, carefully stab these in place to form 2 equally sized circular eyes. If they are not quite even, you can always add a little more fibre. Then, for the nose, take a small wisp of black fibre and twist this between your fingers. Fold this in half and position it so that it is central on the upper section of the muzzle and stab it in place. Then guide the fibre up either side to form a V shape, stabbing in place as you go. You should now have a beautifully finished needle felted seal. To ensure you do not miss future informational videos or tutorials, please subscribe to my channel. You can also come and join the Flock's needle felting community on Facebook. There is a link to this in the description. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. As explained at the beginning, I am happy for you to make items from this tutorial for personal use or to sell. All I ask is, if you share what you have made, that you add a note to say that you made it from a free tutorial from the Flock, and add a link to the Flock's Facebook group. Please also be aware that the tutorial and its content is protected by copyright and must not be copied or shared without prior permission. Thank you.